All right, so week 15 we covered interactivity with Animate. I've already gone over how to create these buttons. So this is the second part of the tutorial, adding the interactivity of the buttons and moving around in the timeline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer. I'm going to put in some type and I'll say welcome to the home page. And of course we're keeping it Comic Sans because it is just gorgeous. So I'll call this home text. Like that. And let's see if I can duplicate this layer. Yep. If I duplicate this layer, I right-clicked on it. And I'm going to call this. Let me hide this first. Let me hide all these layers. To the demo page. Okay, and I'll call this one demo text. So there's the home text, there's the demo text. They're each separate. So let's pretend we want the demo page to start after frame 10. So let's see what we got here. So this is about 10. So I'm going to select this keyframe. See if I can move it. Let's put it right here, just be on the safe side. And then for the home text, I'm going to insert a blank frame because this program does not give you full layers like the other ones do. And the home and the demo button, let's have them just be on the safe side. Let's have them go to frame 25, even though we don't need that much. So you see I got both buttons. Here's my demo text. So this one I will put out to here, insert a blank frame. So now these gray areas are the layers. So the home page goes to frame 10, and then at frame 12 we now see the demo page, and both buttons are still there so you can click back and forth. I'm going to save my work. Remember, save frequently. So we've got our two sections of the web page done. If you want to do multiple sections, this is how you do it. There's just a split. The home page goes to there. You can see where the split is. It stops, and this is the beginning of the demo page. So now I'm going to make a new layer by clicking down here, New Layer. We call this one Actions. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. If the visitor comes to your website, the timeline is just going to keep going, and it's not going to stop. So we're going to need this to end before the home page stops. So I'm going to pick right here, frame 9. I'm going to select this frame right here on the Actions layer, right-click Actions. Now I'm going to choose my Code Snippet button right up here. I'm going to go to my action script, twirl down. Let's do timeline navigation, stop at this frame. I double click. And there's my code. And I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to close this. So now I've got this little A above there. So this is where it's going to stop. Now I want this next thing to stop before this one ends. So we'll pick frame 22. So I'm going to click here, right click, Actions. I'm on the Actions layer. I'm going to go to my snippet, right up here, Code Snippets, twirl down Action Script, Timeline Navigation, stop at this frame. I'm going to close this window, and I will close this window. So what's happening now is we've got our two buttons, and the section splits right here. This stop will stop the playhead, so when the viewer's on your page, it'll stop here, and they're forced to choose a button. Once they click on one of the buttons, it'll either send them to this section or this section, and this will play, and it'll stop here before the section ends. So that's all we've done. I'm going to save. Sorry again about the cough. Now, the last step is to add interactivity to the buttons. So I'm going to go to frame 1. So this code is here at the beginning. I'm at frame 1. I've got my selection arrow. I select my home button. I've named it. You must name it before this next step, or else it'll force you to name it. So that's why I did it earlier in the tutorial. going to go Window, Code Snippets. Again, that was Window, Code Snippets. Now we're going to twirl on Action Script, Timeline Navigation, and we'll say click to go to frame and play. So now it's going to say, it's going to pick a frame. The default's 5. We'll pick 2, just to be on the safe side. So I'll pick frame 2, and then I'll close this, and I'll close that. So whenever you click on this, it'll send you to frame 2. And when you're having scripting, scripting starts at 0, but Flash starts at 1, or I should say animate. So there's got to be a little bit of offset, so you got to be careful of that when you're working. So that's why I did the extra 2, because 2 in here is actually 1 over here. It's a mess. Like I said, I'm not a fan of this program. So I go back to frame 1. Here I'm on frame 1. I click my other button. Right click. I don't right click. I go Window, Code Snippets. Again, that's Window, Code Snippets. Remember, I've already named this instance. So I twirled on Action Script, Timeline Navigation, go to frame and play. I double click. And we want this to go to frame, let's say 13, just to give us some safe area here. Now, if you've got animation going on in the background, you're going to want to be more precise. So now if I right click here and go Actions, this is all the code that we've put on here. So you'll see the name of the button. There's the Home button. You click on it, it'll take you to frame 2. Here's the Demo button. You click on it, it'll go to frame 13. We've got our 2 stops, so we don't go past a section, and now the buttons should work. I saved it. I hit Command Enter to preview and test my page. So here we are at the home screen. You can see it stopped. It's not going to the next section. So if my buttons, there's my mouse over. There's my mouse over. So I'm going to mouse over. I'm going to click down, it'll turn gray. And now we're at the demo page. That worked. Mouse over, click down, go gray. Now we're back at the home page. So if you're doing this and you're working in HTML space, you'd have an HTML file. You can add as many sections as you want, and this is also a good way to show off some of your reel in an interactive way, having this go to different sections of the timeline to play animation. And again, all the files will be on Canvas for you to download and learn off of, and best of luck with the end of your term.